Thank you so much for staying with us on this beautiful Wednesday edition of Wake Up Nigeria. Okay, right now it's time for us to have a relationship conversation. I have with me Olaiwola Abiola, who is a certified professional mental health counselor with a specialization in relationship and marriage counseling. Now, he uses his background in counseling and psychology to empower individuals to transform their personal, relationship, and professional lives. Now, he leads a private practice and training outfit he founded called Love Boulevard International. And today we're going to be talking about the impact of infidelity on marriage. Welcome back to Wake Up Nigeria. Amazing having you here, sir. And of course, having this conversation about marriage, relationship, very, very important, because I mean, in all facets of life, we definitely have different types of relationships. All right, so today, the impact of infidelity. What's that word giving me a hard time? Infidelity on marriage. So let's start. Let's start by defining infidelity to start with.
Well, infidelity is a grievous betrayal of trust, especially in a romantic relationship. Okay. Or even a romantic relationship, either in a marital state or probably in a committed relationship, because people can still commit, quote and unquote, we call it cheating, before getting married, but once you're married, it's seen as infidelity. So it's basically betrayal of trust between romantic partners.
So there cannot be infidelity in friendships.
There's another word for that. Maybe that some other time we talk about that. But as far as I'm concerned, romantic relationship, committed relationship, especially in a monogamous relationship, even in polygamous situation, if you are going to have multiple wives, definitely should carry your wife along. You have the liberty to do that, especially if you happen to come from a Muslim background and things like that. So anything you are doing behind your romantic partner, your wife, your spouse, is tagged as infidelity.
So the focus is now behind, right?
You're doing something without the consent.
Without the consent of your partner with another person. All right, amazing. So now let's talk about the impacts directly. I mean, we have several issues, several situations here in Nigeria. And of course, different people on different parts. I remember having a conversation with someone talking about how, what's the deal breaker? I know the deal breaker conversation. So yeah, when they cheat, they leave. Someone was actually talking to me about how she was sitting in on the conversation, and then someone literally says, to her at this point in her life and career and marriage, like infidelity is not a deal breaker for her anymore. Do you understand? So now let's talk about that impact. So now when you talk about impact, what do you mean and what angle are you coming from?
I'm looking at the impact in this sense because it's going to cause a lot of emotional effect. It's going to cause psychological effect, both on the perpetrator and the betrayed person. So if you're looking at the impact it cut across, number one, is going to cause a kind of grief. When we talk about grief, grief is a natural response to a loss. So if you're in a relationship with someone, you're in a committed relationship, and the other party is doing something else, and you get to find out what happened is that you believe that this relationship is for you. Especially when I'm talking about monogamous relationship. I kept talking about that, saying that because these days and time, a lot of things
a lot of things monogamous.
Yes, people have different kind of funny arrangements. So but you have in a committed monogamous relationship, you're expected, there's what we call exclusivity in relationship. The exclusivity simply means I'm yours, you are mine. And what it means is that I'm exclusively yours, you're exclusively mine. So what it means is that if you are doing anything romantically romantically with somebody else, then that's an issue. It's going to cause grief. And when there's grief, there's going to be like a shock, a denial, depression, and also it can
so now talking about this
mental health issues.
Grief now is talking about the emotional impact on the other part. So you're talking about
and also the psychological issues. People can have mental breakdown. I've seen people that collapse just finding out their spouse was having a sexual relationship with somebody else, and they just collapse. And some people, they don't get to recover socially as well, because people have known you to be Mrs. So-so-so, and suddenly you are no longer Mrs. So-so-so or something, because it can also lead to the total separation or divorce. The relationship can come to an end. And when that happens, it impacts the children, impacts the society, impacts the family as well, family and friends. So if you look at it, the impact of infidelity is very, 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 I'm looking for the right word now, it's very deep because it cuts across every facet of that relationship, psychologically, emotionally, financially as well. It can also affect you financially, because if the relationship eventually gets to lead to divorce, you have to probably part with your properties and things like that.
Yes.
So it's an all-encompassing thing, emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually as well.
Even spiritually as well, very true. Okay, so now I was literally going over something. So I mean, you've spoken about this and everything. So would you say, now the question, it's compulsory that there's an impact? The reason I'm asking this is because, I mean, I was literally going over social media, and literally I saw a quote. So Peter Obi was quoted to have said that if his wife cheats on him, that's her business. Right? So would you say that it's possible now to literally be in a committed, monogamous relationship and have the one party cheat, and then the other party not necessarily be impacted by it?
See, we need to be true to ourselves. Maybe what he's trying to say is that, look, I'm going to move on with my life. But that does not mean something has not happened.
Okay.
Because whether you like it or not, for example, somebody of that status and such a things break out in the social media. Look at what is going on in Equatorial Guinea. You want to tell me the wife says nothing that I'll just move on with my life? No. Because whether you like it or not, everywhere you go, it follows. There's this stigma that follows infidelity, especially in this part of the world. It's everywhere. Because once you're in a monogamous relationship, people expect you to be what? To be forthright, to be upright and up and doing, and you're expected to live to your vows, your exchange marital vows. So they'll do us part in come sun, come rain. So if somebody is saying that's a business, what it's trying to say is that I'll cope and I'll move on with my life. And I'll move on with my life. So
very quickly, do you want to share your thoughts when you heard about the Equatorial Guinea situation with over 400
for me, that
evidence?
To me, that speaks to a lot of underlying issues.
With the man?
With the man.
Yes.
For me, I believe there's a lot of mental health issues dimension to that.
Wow.
And it's possible maybe unresolved childhood trauma. It's possible, we also have what we call toxic masculinity. We socialize our boy children to believe that having multiple sexual partners is a way to show that you're a man.
Yes, yes.
So these are part of things I believe.
I would actually love to ask a lot more questions, because a lot of men, especially in this climb, seem to be saying the guy was the goat. And I'm like, how do you interpret that? But anyways, we have to go. Thank you so much, sir, for being here and speaking with us. It's amazing. We're going to be having you for the whole of November. Yay. Welcome back. All right. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to our next conversation next week as well. Thank you so much
for having me.
Yes, sir. All right. And that's it right here on this episode. No, on this particular conversation, relationship. We're going to a quick break right now, but stay with us. A lot coming right here on Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be right back.